Krodhat bhavati sammoha, sammohat smriti vibhramaha, smriti bhramshat buddhinashaha, buddhinashat pranashyati. That object which we go on thinking again and again, we get attached to it. And from that attachment, a deep urge to possess it, a desire for it arises. And from desire, if it is not fulfilled, what comes out is anger. When we get into an angry state of our mind, we lose connection with our memory, and our wisdom is in our memory. Therefore, we do not have access to our own wisdom. Once we lose access to our wisdom, we perish. This is what Krishna said. And then he said, how do we go about? He says, avoid likes and dislikes. Go through an experience without dividing that into these two. This would sound extremely difficult for people who are not seekers, whose goal is not the truth. For them it would look extremely difficult if one keeps the goal as God or divinity, and that's what we aim in life to reach, to achieve, to experience, then this would not be difficult. We can go through any experience without making it into those divisions, likes and dislikes. Why? Likes and dislikes happen in the mind, they shuttle in the mind, and I am aware of the both. So when I'm aware of these two, in that awareness, there is no likes and dislikes. Awareness illumines the likes and dislikes, so awareness is beyond these. So one who practices witness would become free from it. And then in the last stanza we saw, for that person who does not have this tranquil mind, because always agitated with various things, doesn't find peace, he can't progress anywhere. Whereas other hand, one who finds this kind of a peace, by having a kind of a control, does not allow the mind to get swayed between likes and dislikes, he experiences a kind of a tranquilness, peace. In that peace, all sorrows are destroyed. All miseries are destroyed. It is up to us to remain peaceful. And in fact, it's a statement of fact. If I make a decision, strong decision, that I will not get disturbed, no force on earth can disturb us. Please remember, if I decide that I will not get myself agitated, no force can get us agitated. It's a kind of a decision we need to make, that I would go through my life not being disturbed by anything. If I learn to see it through the spiritual vision, there is no way I can get disturbed. There's no way one can feel helpless. When someone once told Gurudev, don't worry Swamiji, this will be done, he asked that question, have you ever seen me worried? Tell me. Have you ever seen me worried? Think. Man of authority, isn't it? Have you seen me worried? What a question. How many of us can ever even think of asking that kind of a question? Have you seen me worried? What else do I see? Isn't it? Have you seen me worried? Yes, all the time. 5 minutes we cannot talk without, expressing a worry. Whereas Gurudev puts that question, have you seen me worried? I haven't seen him worried. The people I know who has met him much before than I could meet him, they have not seen him worried. Never we have seen him being helpless. The tranquilness of the mind is not lost. Amidst work, amidst various things, the tranquilness was retained. Why? Ever detached like a tortoise. You walk and you know to withdraw. Do not get carried away. Peaceful mind. So he says, in that peace, all sorrows are destroyed. A person can move around freely in the world without letting that peace go. All of us say peace is very precious and we need to keep, peace of mind is important, peace of mind is important, but we forget on what grounds we lose it. That's really silly. On what grounds we lose our peace? What are the things required for us to lose our peace? It could be a sports event you're watching and it did not go the way in which you want, peace lost. Something as simple, it's just a game, but peace gone. It could be somebody did not recognize your work, peace gone. You said hello and the other person did not say hello back to you, peace gone. Something that simple, peace gone. You called and your call was not returned, peace gone. Yes or no? Small things of that nature takes away our peace. We don't even value it. We want it, but we don't value it. We lose it at the very, very ordinary reasons. If we really value peace, we won't lose it. So here he says that person who has got his senses under control keeps his mind always tranquil. In him all sorrows are lost. He moves around with a tranquil mind. That is prasada buddhi. In the temple, when we take prasad, or when we go to the temple and we have darshan of the Lord, when we see the Lord, we close our eyes. A kind of a fulfillment. Yes, I saw. And that peace which we see is actual darshan. Not the deity outside. You see, and first thing we do is close our eyes. We go there, stand, and then. It could have been hours on queue. But on reaching the sanctum, eyes are closed. There's a sense of peace. That is prasad. So if we can maintain that peace, all sorrows are lost, destroyed. This is what we saw till yesterday, and now we continue. Verse 66.
Nasti buddhirayuktasya, nasti buddhirayuktasya, na chayuktasya bhavana, na chayuktasya bhavana, na cha bhavayata shantihi, na cha bhavayata shantihi, ashantasya kuta sukham, ashantasya kuta sukham.
Even in the gross achievements of the world, let's say something like sports, are there not restrictions on the behavior of a sportsman? Why? There's a game tomorrow. Why there's so much of restrictions? Sleep on time, no partying, you can't extend, no alcohol, rules. Why? Because you overindulge and then next day your performance is definitely affected. Hangover, disturbed mind, not very bright intellect. So even on a grosser level of performance, if the mind is not in sattva guna, we can't do much there. That's why so much of restrictions. Stay focused on what you do. Sometimes even the sportsmen are told, don't even take your family members, because there is a possibility that you can get involved into the family kind of a discussion, etc. And there could be various issues which can disturb you. Keep off. Focus on the game. So what are they actually telling the sports person? Have self-control. Don't get involved into various other things. Keep those things away so that you can perform well. Okay. Even something on sports. What happens when it comes to Brahma Vidya? It's impossible to control the mind. It's impossible to acquire self-knowledge without controlling the mind. When I don't control my mind, I have no way I can establish myself in self-knowledge. So he says here, Nasti buddhira yuktasya, nacha yuktasya bhavanaha. Ayuktasya, for that individual, for that seeker, without self-control, for that person who is there without self-control, buddhi na asti, self-knowledge doesn't take place, wisdom doesn't come. He cannot be wise. Because to establish in it, to establish particularly in self-knowledge, self-control is very, very important. Ayuktasya, for that person without self-control, contemplation, bhavana, mind moving towards the higher in one direction, that is not possible. For the self-control, self-knowledge is not possible. For the one who doesn't have self-control, self-knowledge is not possible. For the one who does not have self-control, contemplation upon the higher is not possible. For that person who does not contemplate, abhavayatha, he who does not contemplate upon the higher, peace of mind is not possible. Tranquility is not possible. Na shanti, there is no peace for him. For ashantasya, for that person who is not having peace, he is unhappy. Where can he be happy? I want to be happy. For that I need to have a kind of a control over my senses. Eyes, ears, nose, taste, touch. I must have a kind of a control. I can't allow anything and everything which I see that I need to have and run into it without any control. Allow the senses to go wild in the sense objects. We can not become steady in our wisdom. That's why on the first day when we were talking, I referred to Prashna Upanishad. Prashna Upanishad, where the students go to the teacher and ask a question, the teacher says, after 1 year we shall discuss. What happens in 1 year? Live a life of self-control. Discipline yourself well. Isn't it? We need to check how much of control we have. How well we manage our mind. How well we manage our senses. We need to check. How do I check? Decide to get up in the morning. First step. Get up in the morning. What time? Early morning. What time? What is early? Let us say 5 a.m. every day. No, not possible. Why? I don't sleep till 3. I don't sleep till 2. Why? You don't sleep till 3 too. Why? Control yourself. What is it that takes you? Something or other. Why don't you have control? You see? There's no control. I feel like staying awake. I allow myself to stay awake. And next morning, it's not possible for me. When I sleep, I drag myself till 8, 8:30. And then I need to rush to the work. Where is the time? And what were you doing in the night? Something constructive? Not really. You see, there is no control. Like that, we need to check. How much of control do I have? How well do I manage my time? Do I have control over myself? If I give a word, do I keep it up? Is it not? There are so many people say, I'll meet you at this time. They don't turn up only. Why? I'll do this for you, and they don't do it at all. Why? Postpone. We'll do it later. We'll do later. No control. Think. So it's very, very important we check how much of control we have, how much of master we are over ourselves. If we have self-mastery, then self-knowledge is possible. Without mastering the self, Atma Vidya is not possible. What comes to us will be information. It can never become transformation. Information would be only an information. If That information has to become transformation. I must have self-mastery, master myself. So those who can practice this self-imposed discipline, for them self-knowledge is possible. For that person who has self-knowledge, contemplation is possible. Because you have the knowledge and you know to let the mind go in that direction. Slowly turn the mind and take it towards the higher. If self-knowledge itself is not there, in which direction will I meditate? In which direction would I contemplate? Sometimes people say, let's meditate. On what? Important question. Let's meditate. Meditate on what? Oh, there is something to meditate upon. On what? Sitting with eyes closed, is it meditation? I just sit with eyes closed. How can that be meditation? Sitting eyes closed is not meditation. I should know to turn the mind. For that I must have self-knowledge. In that direction when the mind goes, trying to apprehend what it is, slowly in that direction, if the mind keeps going, that mind can become silent. Sitting with eyes closed is not meditation. Making the mind towards that, so that the thoughts become less and less. Then there is possibility. So he says, so without self-knowledge, meditation or contemplation is not possible. For the one who does not know to contemplate, he doesn't find himself peaceful. For the one who is not peaceful, he is an unhappy person. So where does the whole thing start? It starts with we having control, we having a mastery over our own senses. Let's not be a victim of these senses. Let's master them. If you can do it, like I told you, make a list where all I do not have a control of my senses. I know this is not the way I should do it, and I just allow myself. Simple example, what we discussed was sleep or staying awake. Simple things. Study, for example. Make sure that you study 3-4 verses of the Geeta daily. How many people will? For 3-4 days? Yes. 5th day, what happened? What happened on the 5th day? Why are you not doing it? Something came on the way. Something else. But why didn't you control yourself? I gave in. I thought, like I'll do it in the afternoon. And afternoon again something came. I thought before doing it, before night, before sleeping I'll do. And then there was some other occupation, I left. Next day at least, why didn't you start again? No. I thought we'll wait for some time. I'm not ready for all this. Let another auspicious day come. Next to Guru Purnima. When is it? 1 year from now. Next to Guru Purnima, I'll start. If this is the kind of a control we have over our mind, how do we do it? We don't do it. You see that? Most of you, I have seen you associating with the mission for a long time. Most of the faces are familiar. Have we not heard about this before also? Still there is no self-control. We have heard of it. Still there is no control. Get up, try meditate in the morning. Nothing much happens and all that. I have not done enough to see if something can happen. 3 days I was meditating, nothing happened. 3 days I meditated in the morning, I followed what you said, but nothing happened. In 3 days, what do you think? If you are a Nachiketa, possible. In 3 days, some huge transformation to happen. Or even people like Gautam Buddha held it, searched this for a few years full time. Into it and searching the truth full time. It took few years for them, 10, 12 years. Person like Gurudev, 6-7 years. 3 days I meditated. Nothing happened, so I don't feel like meditating. Nothing happens in that anyway. I simply get up, read something, nothing much I see, so I don't do. So I give in to other things. No. If I'm not consistent, nothing else will happen. This will go like this only. But if I'm like, I discipline myself that way, saying, these are the essential things in my life. In this I do not make a compromise. I will pursue it. That kind of a control we should have. Then self-knowledge is possible, meditation is possible, peace is possible, happiness is possible. Otherwise it is not possible. Continuing.
Indriyanam hi charatam, Indriyanam hi charatam, Yanmano nu vidhiyate, Yanmano nu vidhiyate, Tadasya harati prajñam, Tadasya harati prajñam, Vayurnavamivambhasi, Vayurnavamivambhasi.
The verses in Sthitaprajna gives us a kind of a feeling. Krishna likes water more. Tortoise, amphibian, land and water. This example of a boat, again connected with water. In subsequent verses we will see where he describes ocean itself. The example he gives here is, to that person who does not have self-control, verily that mind anuvidhiyate indriyani charatam yanmano anuvidhiyate. Anuvidhiyate, that which follows, tatmanaha, that mind, which simply follows indriyanam, the sense organs, charate. That mind which simply follows the wandering sense organs, harati. Harati lifts away, carries away. Asya vayu iva navam ambasi. Just like a wind, just like wind carrying a boat away which is not anchored. A boat which is not anchored, wind has the power to take it and go. Huge boat, tons of cargo on it. Still they will anchor it. Few thousand tons of cargo in a ship. Can you imagine the size of the ship? And with loaded cargo, so much more heavy it is. Even something of that heavy, if it is not anchored, wind can drag the ship away, take it far away. Just like wind taking away the ship, if it is not anchored, so does the mind gets lost if it is not anchored in self-control. Mind is gone. It happens, isn't it, when we sit for prayer, meditation, etc. We start and afterwards we started with, let us say, reading, and you do not know where the mind is in the end. Somewhere it is gone. Started with simple reading or started with simple japa. Simple japa you do, no control, just see what happens to the mind. Where does it go? World tour in the seat of meditation. All possible people you decide to remember only then. Even the ones you have never thought of for a long time. In the seat of meditation I remember all these people. Otherwise you have never thought of them. They don't even occur. There, yeah. Goes on and on and on. Why? The mind carries the person away if he is attached to the sense organs. There was one man, a scientist who had a lot of fantasies, and one of that was, if we can convert water into petrol, is it possible to convert water into petrol? Convert water into petrol, and he wanted to know this somehow, worked hard, did not find any answers. Then someone told him, there is a sadhu living in the mountains. It may be a little arduous journey. You go there and meet the sadhu, the saint. The saint may tell you or give you the formula by which water can be converted into petrol. Wow. Really? Yeah, you try. That person knows everything. So this young man took up this arduous route, went on and on and on. But then, before he could start, people told this young man, the sadhu, the saint there in the mountains, will answer only one question. You have a second question, that person will not answer. All that you can ask the saint is just one question. So he went on, oh yeah, fine, my question is very simple. How to convert water into petrol? Went on. 3-4 days, hard walk, struggled, and finally reached the kutia, the hut where this saint was living. Knocked at the door. And the person opened the door, and that happened to be a saint. The person is a saint, but young and very good looking women. Sadhavi, young, good looking, lost in meditation, living there. This person thought the saint in his mind was some elderly man. He never had, the saint was women. So he went there. As soon as she opened the door, he looked at her, young and beautiful. First question came up, are you married? Are you married? Intelligent lady looked and said, no, your question is over, out. Out. Now you can't ask me anything, your question is over. You asked one question, eligible for a single question, you asked the single question, answer given, now clear the place. What happened to him? For some time he was struggling hard to find out how to convert water into petrol and all that. Went with that kind of a mind. On seeing her, impulse took over. The head lost, the impulse took over, and immediately popped that question. Think. Sense organs are like that, it can forcibly take a person away. Mind can be carried away on seeing certain things. It just gets lost. We need to have ourselves anchored in self-knowledge. Alertness is the only way by which we can reach there. We need to stay alert to the goal. As long as I am alert to the goal, I will get there. If I am not alert, I am lost. So he says, he gives an example like a boat being carried away in wind, by the wind. Same way the mind gets carried away to that person who does not have sense control. Continuing, next answer.
Tasmadyasya mahabaho Tasmadyasya mahabaho Nigrahitani sarvashah Nigrahitani सर्वशः इन्द्रियाणि इन्द्रियार्थेभ्यः इन्द्रियाणि इन्द्रियार्थेभ्यः तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता.
Hey Mahabahu, Arjuna, who has got, mighty shouldered person, hey Mahabahu, tasmat prajna tasya, therefore the wisdom of that person, tasya prajna, becomes firm if he has control. Yasya indriyani, whose sense organs, sarvashah nigritani, are completely withdrawn from sense objects. For that person, tasya prajna pratishtita. Pratishtita, established. He who has got this firm control over his senses, he gets established in wisdom. The power of no, which we should know to say. When the sense organs, various things you feel, it's coming towards you and you don't, and your intellect says, I should not, then I must have the courage and the guts to say no to it. And when I say no to it, it should go away from me. Vinivartante vishayaha, objects go away. So there is a possibility of all kinds of things coming towards us when we live in the world. Unwanted, unessentials may come towards us. When it comes towards me, I should know to say no to it. And I must be firm in saying no. If it's dilly-dallying, moving here, there, oh yeah, yes, no, then I am lost. If this knowledge has to happen, please remember, be firm. Anything can come to you, you have decided no, it cannot affect you after that. That is being firm with our understanding, being firm in our conviction. This is what I read, this is what I have understood, now I will live by that. I will not compromise. Nothing can drag me away from it. Why? I have made the decision that I will follow it. It's just that kind of a decision we need to take. We need to make that I made this decision, now I will not budge from it. I'll be firm and I'll get there. So simple decisions we need to make. For example, let's say, from this yajna onwards, from today onwards, I will commit to study few verses daily. Anything can happen, I will not give up. That I will do. That's called being firm. I commit to study few verses of the Geeta daily. And I will do it come what may. On that I will not compromise. That's being firm. Think. I have decided I will do japa daily, at least one mala, 108, every day. I will not compromise on it. On that I will not compromise. No matter what happens around me, no matter what be the world and the pressure of the world, various things, this I will not compromise. This is the difference with people of dynamism and people who struggle in life. They are convinced, and that is it. They are so firm in the decision they make. We are not sure, isn't it? Decide against, then decide again against, goes on. How much of hesitation? Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Not sure. Yes, I made up my mind and that is it. Now no more room for change in that. I would follow it. So try this. Now I will do japa daily, I'll do little study daily, no matter what happens. This I will not give up. Just the decision. And mind you, in time you will see the difference happening. Then we evolve, we have the control of ourselves. Otherwise, sometime or other, slowly we will find small things again troubling us in life. Little issues, petty issues, trouble. Mind gets bogged down to it again. How long I should go on allowing myself to get disturbed by petty issues? Sometimes people come and tell me, Swamiji, I have a problem. I need to talk to you. I say, what is the problem? India-Pakistan talks failed? No, nothing of that kind. Then? What happened? From that you bring down, it would be something so ordinary. What? My people at home never appreciate what I do. Big problem, isn't it? From Brahma Vidya standpoint, that's a big problem. From infinity standpoint, it's such a major problem. I am not being appreciated for what I'm doing. I'm living here asking, pleading, begging for others' appreciation. Or I do what I have to do. It's my life. You see what kind of a thing, such small things trouble. Other hand, we think we are seekers. We have come across this knowledge. We are on the path for a while. But things of that nature trouble a person. Sublime knowledge, we have to be established in it. We must be very sure. But I get up, I study daily. I do my japa. I will try and maintain, like my mind, get it under control, manage it well. And we should not give up on that. If we are firm on it, progress is sure. We keep moving ahead with a peaceful mind. We keep moving ahead. So much you can do in the world. So much good things can come out of you. You are peaceful, you are creative. Noble thoughts flush through you. People around you and the people around you gets benefited by it. All that needs a kind of a little control where you take a firm decision and you follow it. Like study and japa, be firm. That way when we become firm, we slowly establish in self-knowledge. And that is the goal, and that is the highest knowledge. Knowing which there is nothing left to be known. Gaining which there is nothing left to be gained. What are we aspiring? What is this knowledge? Gaining which there is nothing left for you to go and gain again. It's been a very difficult dream or nightmare. On waking up, your issue is over. We should know to get out from the dream so that I come out of it and the nightmare ends. Waking up is the biggest thing we can do to ourselves. Think. We underestimate self-knowledge. Maybe it has come to us easily, so therefore we may not know its value. So we take it easy, okay. There are books I'll read, I'll find out, there are this and that. There'll be another yajna happening, I'll learn, it goes that way. When Gurudev went to learn this knowledge to Swami Tapovan Maharaj, one of the conditions what Swami Tapovan Maharaj said is, I'll teach once, just once. When I ask you, you should know to explain, repeat it to me. The day you don't do it, that day you quit this place. I'm not interested in teaching you. If this is the condition, we can't even go to the veranda of Swami Tapovan Maharaj. Forget it. If this condition is put on us, but I'll teach you once, and once I teach, you must grasp the whole thing. And if you don't answer, out. he accepted to that condition. He said, yes, I accept. In saying yes, he must have taken time, isn't it? Must have taken time. What a condition this is. How much thought process would have gone that moment for him, for Gurudev to say yes? And why did he say yes? He knew what Tapovan Maharaj has is very precious, and he is yearning for it. There's a deep quest in him. I want it, and I know this man has it. I accept this condition, yes, because that quest in him is so deep, therefore he says, yes, I accept. If self-knowledge we need to master ourselves. We must be firm in our decisions. Nothing should shake us away. That way, when we are firm, self-knowledge will happen. The highest, the most precious, knowing which there is nothing left to be known. Purpose of human birth is fulfilled. Nahi jnanena sadrusham pavitram iha vidyate. Nothing is more sacred here in this world than this knowledge. To get established in it, we must have this prerequisite of having control over our senses. Once we take a decision, we should not budge from it. Continuing.
Ya nisha sarvabhutanam, ya nisha sarvabhutanam, tasyam jagarti samyami, tasyam jagarti samyami, yasyam jagrati bhutani, yasyam jagrati bhutani, sa nisha pashyato munehi, sa nisha pashyato munehi.
Let's first understand the word meaning. It's a very interesting verse. The word meaning is Ya nisha sarva bhutanam tasyam jagrati samyami. The wise man is awake when all others are sleeping, generally. When he goes to sleep, all others are awake. In this verse, if this verse is the yardstick to measure wise men, when all people go to sleep, the wise man is awake. People working in BPO, call center, those who do not sleep in the daytime, who keeps partying all night, all others are sleeping. These people are wide awake, qualified as a wise man. Wise man is he who is awake when all others are asleep. So your teenager at home is a wise man. Respect him. Because you go to sleep 10, 11, hopefully, can't say, and that person doesn't sleep. And you get up in the morning and he is fast asleep. Perfect qualification. When all others are sleeping, wise man is awake. When all others are awake, he sleeps. Oh. Imagine taking this verse to the teenagers in a camp. What response they'll have after that if they have to come and talk to you. Oh, you do not know. I always thought I was divine from the beginning. You underestimated me. Today, Geeta tells I am an awakened one. Qualification? This is the qualification. When all of you are asleep, I am awake. When I go to sleep, all of you are awake. Think. The beauty of those verses, so much to contemplate on it. So nice to think about it. See, that's one of the methods our Shastras have adopted in teaching. It's not directly always said. Certain things are thrown like a puzzle. What the Zen calls as koan. Zen koan. It will be just that. We need to take it, think about it, go on listening to it for a long time, contemplating on it. Suddenly it illumines, the meaning comes. Like in Avadut Geeta, the student, the Avadut who learns from various things, he says, I saw a woman wearing a single bangle. And that was a great lesson to me. What do you mean? What did you learn from a woman wearing a single bangle? What can you learn? I saw a woman walking with a single bangle in her hand, and I learned something from it. In Zen, they call it as one-hand clapping. Go listen to one-hand clapping. It's not directly answered. It's like a koan. They throw it and we have to think on it and find out. Avadut says, I saw this lady with one-hand bangle. One bangle in a hand. It is one, it is not a two. First learning. Great lesson. In one there is no sound, absolute silence. Another learning. So I've learned from her, meaning he picked up that way 24 lessons, and this was one of the lessons. So here also Krishna throws to Arjuna a verse of that kind. He is wise who is awake when all are asleep, and he goes to sleep when all others are awake. We need to sit and think what he meant by it. What inspires you today is not the inspiration for the wise man. What you are chasing now is not what he chases. And that which he is awake to, we are fast asleep. Think. For that which these wise people are awake, it doesn't even come into our list, isn't it? So many other things still fascinates us. For him, he is fast asleep to all the materialism. He is awake to the spirit. Sleeping over matter, awake to the spirit. Wise man. The other person, the otherwise, sleeping over spirit, awakened to the matter. Search itself is different. One is searching matter, materialism, another is searching spirit, the self. So what a wise person seeks, common people are not interested at all in it. And what the common man wants, the wise person is not interested in it. That's why sometimes when we see the wise people, we think it is ridiculous. When Gautam Buddha walked out of his house, sat under a tree to meditate, what do you think many people would have thought of him? A mad person. King, palace, all the pleasures which you want he has. Everything he wants is there for him. Who would ever give up a palace and come down as a mendicant, begging in the streets and living under a tree? Madman, isn't it? With all this knowledge, if someone says, I would like to take sannyas, we will tell that person, what's wrong with you? Huh? You want to take sannyas? Mad or what? Just stay here. Do these things. Why you want to go into? With all the knowledge. We still think, no. If someone says, I want to search the truth full time, just leave me alone. No. Think. That person, when he makes a comment like that itself, it doesn't sound logical for us. Saying something wrong. No, I think it's a hasty decision. You need to take time, think about it, do this, do that. Try and strike a balance between matter and spirit. Slowly withdraw. I think so, you're doing it fast. You have not even attempted. You think you still have time. And someone wants to start early. No. To that, the wise man is awake, the rest of the world is fast asleep. And he has no interest in what the rest of the world has interest in. Yanisha sarva bhutana. We need to understand. We have been running after various things, and very, very careful people, isn't it, about the world. About worldly success, so careful we are, so much precaution we take. To be successful in the world, worldliness. About God, careless. Did you do your prayer today? Nothing. What? It's okay, tomorrow, careless. Did you do japa? Careless. About Him we don't care much. About the material objects we care so much. So careful about the objects and so careless about God. What all makes us cry? Small things we don't get in life, we cry, isn't it? Small things. Today you watch a television serial, you will cry. You read newspaper, you will cry. Small things don't happen in life, we cry. For petty things, people are shedding tears. Missed God all the while, all throughout. Any tears have shed so far for missing God? This is what Ramakrishna Paramahamsa asks. He says, I see people crying for petty things and I don't see anyone crying for God. That they missed God, they missed divine. And it's been a long separation. The urge itself was not there. We don't even feel we are missing. We don't feel that we have been separated and are missing. I need to get back. No. But the same craving is much more for the world. Objects of the world, small things we keep craving. How much we demand from the world, isn't it? This should be this way, that way. Please do this. And there is so much of sometimes disturbance in the mind. If I don't get what I want, I have not attained quietude. No disturbance. Not bothered. Not disturbed. You see how we are? That which we are awake, the wise man has no interest in it. And to that which the wise man is interested, we have no interest in it. This is what he meant, saying, what we seek from the world, the wise man with the same intensity seeks the self. Continuing.
Apuryamāṇamacala pratishtham Apuryamāṇamacala pratishtham Samudramāpa pravishanti yadvat Samudramāpa pravishanti yadvat Tadvat kāmayam pravishanti sarve Tadvat kāmayam pravishanti sarve Sashanti mapnoti na kāmakāmi Sashanti mapnoti na kāmakāmi.
Once more.
Apuryamāṇamacala pratishtham Apuryamāṇamacala pratishtham Samudramāpa pravishanti yadvat Samudramāpa pravishanti yadvat Tadvat kāmayam pravishanti sarve Tadvat kāmayam pravishanti sarve Sashanti mapnoti na kāmakāmi Sashanti mapnoti na kāmakāmi.
Again an example connected with water, ocean. See, the law is very simple. That which we go on meditating, we become that. Meditate upon strength, you become strong. Meditate upon quietude, you become peaceful. That which we go on meditating, we become that. Here is a brilliant example given. And it's one of the beautiful slokas of the Geeta, the most apt and the way in which we can understand what would be the state of mind of a wise man. And the example Krishna gives is Apuryamanam achala pratishtam samudramapa pravishanti yadvat. Waters which are flowing in the rivers rush towards the ocean. They go towards the ocean. And every second, gallons and gallons of water is being poured into the ocean from all the rivers around the world. Try and understand. At one moment of time, not even 1 second, at one moment of time, all the rivers in the world, how much water it must be pouring into the ocean. Go and stand next to the mouth of a river when it just enters into the ocean. Ganga Sagar, just go there and see. Then we can get vague idea how much of water would go into the ocean every second. Like Ganga, all the rivers in the world. At every moment, how much of water must be going into it? Ocean has the ability to take it. Millions, billions, trillions, gallons of water enters into the ocean every moment, and the ocean takes it continuously till the end of time. Water keeps. How much of water it must have taken by now? Every day if you see. And the ocean doesn't overflow. It has the ability to take. No matter how much of water rushes into it, the ocean has the ability to take. That is the ability the wise man has, to take all experiences coming to him. He would not overflow nor be shattered. He has the ability to absorb. Think. The ability of the ocean to absorb trillions and trillions of gallons of water going into it every second. Same way, any kind of experience which comes, the wise man knows to absorb, would not be shaken by it, would not be disturbed by it, will not cry out saying helpless. No, he would know to take it. This is the ability. Tragedy after tragedy, take it. And not only take it and make it look so simple. That's the beauty of it. Taking tragedy after tragedy, one after another, something or other coming, but makes it look something very ordinary. Doesn't do much ado above it. Take it and go on. Krishna's example. Krishna is the most apt example for it. Think. Start his life. Born in jail. Many of us will not write an autobiography that way. Born in jail first. What happened next? Immediately separated from parents. Immediately. Then what happened? Continuously attacked. And people around him were helpless to do anything about the attacks. He has to protect himself continuously. You see his life goes that way. But we never see it that way, isn't it? He made it appear so simple, so joyful, cheerful wherever he went, but the life had its own incidents. One onslaught after another. Continuously. And he could take those experiences, never went back to the place where he went earlier. Left it. When he leaves a place, he leaves it completely. No return to that place. moved on. And everyone looks Krishna very cheerful, playful, naughty, and dynamic person. But he took all that, whatever came on the way, one after another. Lord Ram demonstrated it. When Dasharath called him and said, "You are crowned. Coronation ceremony will happen. You will be the prince, king tomorrow. We'll crown you soon." Just nodded his head. Few minutes later, Kaikeyi calls and says, "Leave Ayodhya, go to forest." Out. Who says? Your dad says so. Okay. Palace given, prince, crown given, kingdom given, next second taken away, off. He could take that experience. Who says? My dad said that. Right, I'll take it up. Can you be equal in these two experiences? All that which you aspire, one side is given, next moment taken away. Man was not shattered. Ocean could take, absorb. Any kind of loss, any kind of tragedy, any kind of excitement, one could absorb. This is the capacity of a wise man. Never breaks down. Think. Never breaks down. And how quickly we keep breaking down. Small things we break down. Gone. Small things. If we can meditate on this verse, think about this verse deeply. Vastness of the ocean, how ocean absorbs everything. Same way the wise man absorbs everything. If that ability we take, imagine life after that. Any kind of an experience coming, you take it. Not the one who runs after sense objects, na kama kami. The one who keeps running after sense objects, he will not have this ability. But the one who is established in self-knowledge can move around the world. Anything coming on the way, one could take it. I have seen in my life one person, Gurudev, who could do it. Any load of work, take it. Any kind of news coming to him, take it. Development, institutions being built, maybe betrayal, nothing, you take it. And sometimes when people went and told him, saying, "Swamiji, you're working too much, don't work so hard, this is too much," he gives back an answer saying, "Have you come across anyone who died because of hard work?" See the response, huh? Have you come across anyone who died because of hard work? What are you talking? Hard work has never killed anyone, isn't it? Could take ability. This is something which we can develop, isn't it? This stanza, more than anything else, this stanza gives us a glimpse what a Sthitaprajna's mind is. How we would absorb things. Let's develop that. Keep this ocean in mind. Anything which you think is very tragic, remember, I am that ocean which can absorb it. Let down of health, let down of wealth, let down of people, I can take it. Lovely, wonderful, nice things coming, I can absorb both. Let's try and develop this ability. That would be a wonderful achievement each one does for oneself. Think if you have achieved this ability, what a beautiful thing you have done to yourself. Will that not be one of the best gifts you have given to yourself? Will that not be one of the best things you have achieved in life? If we can develop a mind like this which can take on, continuing.
Vihaya kamanya sarvan, Vihaya kamanya sarvan, Pumamscharati nisprihaha, Pumamscharati nisprihaha, Nirmamo nirahankaraha, Nirmamo nirahankaraha, Sashantimadhigacchati, Sashantimadhigacchati.
Vihaya kaman yas sarvan, puman charati nispraha. Vihaya, having given up, vihaya, sarvan kaman, all sense demands, sense objects, etc. Saha, that puman, person, yaha charati, that person who moves, nispraha, untouched by the world, moves but doesn't allow himself to be touched by the world, various desires of the world, etc. Nirahankaraha nirmama, without the notion of I, without the notion of mine, he walks around this world. And that is one of the most beautiful ways to walk. And such a person, adhigacchati shantim, he attains complete peace. Adhigacchatim shantim. Who? Nirahankaraha nirmamatva. I and mine, he drops. Our mind mostly occupies with I and mine, I and mine. When anything coming to us, immediately we make it, this is mine, this is mine. A wise man understands, nothing is mine. I came with nothing except the karma I carried. When I go, again I'll go with nothing except the karma accumulated while living here. Punya karma, papa karma, whatever. We came only with merit and demerit actions in us. When we depart from here, we depart only with that. We came with nothing else. In between, we take everything as I, mine, 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 which is just an ocean. Intelligently thinking, we can drop it off. How? Looks almost very difficult. To give up the feeling of mine, mine, mine. Not the object, the feeling it is mine. Give that up. From where? We can move from one place to another. There will always be something. But I need not have this feeling, this is mine. It can be with me, but I need not entertain that feeling, it is mine. That we can give up. How? Simple analysis. It's been given to you by him, not yours. Your kids are not your kids, given to you by him. Think. So I take care of what he has given, not what I claim as mine. Then I live in this field which is provided by him. I purify myself and I grow. Think. We keep making this claim, mine, mine, mine. Not mine, his. I am only taking care, not owning it. All that which is around me, which I was thinking I own, let me understand I don't own them. I only take care of them. You have provided it, O Lord. It is yours. I shall take care of it. I don't own it. I don't possess it. It's there, let it be there. It is yours, which is there around me, not mine. This should not be a kind of an intellectual information. It must be our conviction. How free we become after that. The field in which we live, we purify ourselves in that field. A person who gives this up is always peaceful. Because there is nothing to gain, nothing to lose. He has things and he sees it's given to me by him. It is his. I shall take care of it as best as I can. When he wants, he can take it away. And that's the field he gave me. I want nothing in this field. I serve this field because he provided it to me. Without owning anything, I serve the field. Your family is your field. Your business is your field. Your various other works, what you do is your field, given to you by him. I serve that field without owning anything in it. We would be happy, we would be peaceful. Drop this feeling of owning things, mine, 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 drop it. It is not, because I came with it, without it. Technically, on paper, it could be, maybe, that's it. On the legal system today, it should, maybe you can call mine, mine, but it should not be the feeling. It should be a technical claim. Whose house is this? Mine, technically. Whose car is this? Mine. So at transactional level, relate with these terms, but deep inside, no, not mine, his. So after this lecture, don't go around saying, this is not mine, this is not mine. Don't do that. Feel it is not mine, don't say. You go and somebody asks, whose car is this? Not mine. Oh, why are you sitting inside? And there you use the transactional level, what is necessary, but the feeling should not be there. Because we came with nothing. There is nothing left with us. I live here, use it, it gets over. A person who drops this I and mine walks into the world untouched by it, nispraha. Nothing touches him. This feeling is what makes me hold on to everything. I give up this feeling. And such a person leads only peace. And now we go to the last answer.
Esha Brahmi Sthiti Partha. Esha Brahmi Sthiti Partha. Nainam Prapya Vimuhyati. Nainam Prapya Vimuhyati. Sthitva Syamanta Kalepi. Sthitva Syamanta Kalepi. Brahma Nirvana Mrichati. Brahma Nirvana Mrichati.
Hey Partha, hey Arjuna, this state, without this feeling of I and mine, the ability to absorb whatever life offers, this state is the state of absolute Brahmasthiti. He says this state is called Brahmasthiti, the state of Brahman. Jivan Mukta lives this way. Prapya enam, having attained this, na vimuhyate, never one gets deluded again. Having reached that state, never one gets deluded again. The delusion is over once for all. Never again we would get deluded. Sthitva asyam, being established in this, apiyantakale, even at the time of death, richati brahma nirvanam, one makes an absolute absorption into it. Even towards the end of the life, let us say, we have this kind of a knowledge coming to us, arrived on it, we get absorbed into it. So it's a state of mind, it's a state where we can evolve. All we need to do is practice all that what is told. Mind, drop that. Attachment, drop it. Too much of I. Selfish, drop it. How do I get rid of I? If I commit to selfless work, selfishness goes away. Without selfishness, I is not a problem. I is a major problem only with selfishness. I drops off. That way when we live, In that state we can get absorbed. And we keep practicing. Even before death one can get it. Even in the last end one can get it, because it can happen any time if we continuously practice. With this, we conclude this portion called Sthitaprajna Lakshana. I'm very happy all of you turned up today. Sthitaprajna. No matter what it is, we go good. And I like that. That's nice. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. I thank all the organizers for giving us an opportunity so that we could discuss this beautiful portion of Gita Sthitaprajna Lakshana. Thank you. Yes.